into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
Hold on, get ready.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Oh, here it comes.
It's Erica Atkins-Campbell single, right?
I love God. You love
Oh.
God. What's wrong with you?
Hey, hey,
Hey!
You love God.
Wait, keep let it play, let it play.
I don't think that I could live no other way.
See, we gonna have to turn it to a party in a
I
second.
know,
We keep it
right?
going. Like, I don't even want to do this show. I just want to do this like all the show. What?
Oh! Go on, Erica. I'm loving this.
Right?
This is awesome.
Dope. I wanted her to do this on the show. She needed to
Yes,
do this
she
song on the
does.
show
She
at
does.
some point in time.
At some point in time.
somewhere.
Yes, she does.
Please.
Well, what's up, y'all? We back. We just had to, give props right there.
Right, we
Right.
did.
I'm your host, Ashida Onrae, and Lem is back with us. I am so excited. He was out on assignment last week, and we are going to bring it for episode 6,
Absolutely.
Twisted Sisters.
Absolutely. Shout out to Phil for holding it down.
Yes.
He's always the
Big
man.
Daddy Phil.
Big Daddy Phil.
So let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're ending the show, which was an actual big question that I had last episode was, Tina's testimony that she had on stage. And I noticed Erica was saying, tone it down.
Right.
But what really caught my ear was when she said, you are a gospel singer, you can't talk like that. So I want to get your opinion, and I got some opinion. I asked people to make their comments
Chime
known
in.
on YouTube, and I have my favorite here but I want to hear yours real quick on what do you think? Do you think that she should not talk about her, issues publicly, or do you think she should keep it privately?
Okay, so
what do you think?
This is the thing. I don't think that she should keep it private in a sense. She was just on a radio show. And she was, basically talking, giving her story, testimony, however you want to call it, and she was very open about it in that episode. Now, this is not her event. This is her sister's event, right? She was there. She was just there to support, what have you. Of course, Erica started having, the health issues and started feeling some kind of way. And so they didn't want to just stall the show while that was going on. So it was asked of Tina to go out and kind of, show the crowd. The crowd knows who she is, all of that kind of thing. The situation where I think it got hairy was because she started bearing her soul and it wasn't the right venue to do that. That's what I'm saying. I believe that, and as you can see, now, of course, editing is editing, so you don't know exactly how people were really responding to it. It sounded like people, as she was, talking and giving the testimony, there was some agreement with it, but it's how she was delivering it. Here this is this uplifting concert, and here she goes, and she's talking about this and that, and I was going to kill somebody, and God had to help me, and I wanted to shoot him, and, saying all these negative things, not getting to the point as of yet. And if you notice, Erica comes out and starts singing, sing this song with me, God is good,
Right.
to kind of get her to stop. And then at the end, she kind of like, what God, and kind of got her on track. Because we've seen how Tina can rant and rave and kind of really not worry about her surroundings because it's about her. And because I think she was already in that vein of kind of bearing her soul and talking about what she was doing and talking about what happened, it was kind of another opportunity to do that. That's my thing on
I
it.
agree with you, but I wanted to talk to you about it because one of the things that I love about when I go to church and when I hear inspirational speakers, they talk about, they go deep into the situation on how they feel, because even as Christians, we do want to kill somebody. We
Yeah,
feel like it.
sure.
Right? So
Absolutely.
should we not say it, either whether it's in church, whether it's, you know, at a hosting event, whether it's at another venue? Should we not just, I mean, yes, she did bare her soul on the radio, but sometimes you're passionate each and every time because you
Right.
were delivered
Right.
from it. So you're
Sure.
sharing where you were
Sure.
and then transition into like, but look at where I'm at right now. Look
Sure.
at the glory that God has given me.
And I think giving your testimony is very important, especially if it's going to help somebody. In this situation, and again, like I said, I'm going back to this is a television show, so we don't know with editing how it all started. If she
Right.
just went out there and started saying this, if there's some other stuff, you know,
Right,
they're
right.
going to show what they want to show the drama and to kind of show whatever. I think that, again, going back to it, it looked like because of Erica's reaction, only her, just looking at her reaction, she was feeling some kind of way because, again, this was not her event. Now, if it was Tina's event and Tina's doing a concert and in the middle concert, she's like, y'all, I got to tell you something.
But she did it on the radio too. 'Cause
But
she was
that
like, oh my God.
But that was her radio spot. She was there. It was a Mary Mary radio spot.
Right.
But she was the only one that could make it. But she had every right to do that and she was also being probed. Those questions were asked of her. The radio host asked her. She's like, okay, I want to ask you about this Teddy situation. I heard this, that, and there. She's like, well, let me set the record straight. And she went on and talked about it.
Right.
And I thought it was good, even though Erica was like, Tina, you saying too much
Yeah.
as she was in the car. I think it was good that she said that because her thing was, I want to tell my truth before people can just make up things or try to
Right.
figure out
Right.
or think some kind of way. I'm going to give you everything so you have it all on the table. Only difference is this was not Tina's event. This was Erica's event. She was asked to go out there and kind of greet the people. And then all of a sudden she starts in the Super Tina and I'm going
Right.
to testify and show you everything
I'ma just
inside
take
of me.
over.
And I'm just going to show you how I was delivered. But before I was delivered, I was a mess and I wanted to shoot people and I became a Crip and da-da. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, that's not what.
I became a Crip. Well, you're right. Speaking of Crip, you know, I had to, I read all comments on YouTube.
Okay.
And by far, this was one of my favorite comments from Overly Loved.
Okay.
She's in all caps,
In all
mind
caps.
you.
Okay.
I love Tina. She is real. So many people are fake and can't take her realness. We love you, Tina. We love you. She's like exclamation point, right?
Right.
And she got so many responses
To that.
to that.
Positive responses.
Well, positive and negative.
Okay,
You know, people
okay.
are like, you know, she's overbearing, she's mean, she takes, you know, takes Erica's spotlight, and there's a difference between being real and being, you know, rude and all those other things. And some people have a lot of opinions about it.
Sure.
So yes, she comes off a little harsh, you know, but I just appreciate it because I know where she's coming from in a sense. You know, sometimes she can just do a little bit too much, but
Right.
I do understand because that's some painful stuff that she went through.
No, and
she's speaking from
she
that.
She is. And I think she has every right to tell her testimony. I think, and that's just like anything. Like if we're doing this show right here and some other person comes in and they're going to host and like, look, I got to tell you about my day. It was terrible. And they
Yeah.
start going, and it's nothing to do with the subject matter. And it's a great story, but we're talking about Mary Mary. We're not talking about, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
This
right,
is
right.
not the right time for that.
Right.
So that's what I'm just saying. It was a timing issue. It didn't seem like it was the right place at that particular moment in the middle of this concert when should be uplifting the people, you know, kind of, it looked like she took a long time to get there.
Yeah.
And again, going by Erica's reaction, nobody else, and it looked like the pastor too.
Right.
Again, I don't know
They
if that was
got a good-
editing, but it looked like he was like, can you do something, please? Because this is not what I
Yeah,
want from a church.
right.
So I don't know if that was Bill Cosby,
I know.
pastor. I don't know. It's a horrible impression. But anyway, you see what I'm saying?
I do.
That's my whole situation. With
I
that.
hear what you're saying. Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
what you're saying. It's wrong time, you know, timing.
Exactly.
Erica's Erica moment
Exactly.
made it into a Tina moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. But that's the thing, and that's Tina though.
That is Tina.
Tina is, I will say Tina is, and I think Erica's real too. I don't think Erica's not real. I think Tina is very vocal about, you know, the things she likes and she dislikes. You could see how she handles business. You could see how she was, you know, with the situation with their previous manager. You could see how she act, you know what I'm saying? In a lot of different situations, even when, I think it was last episode when the guy was trying to call to book them to book Mary Mary.
Yes.
She's the acting manager, so she's supposed to be taking these calls, and she's like, "Oh, I'm doing my family." Eric, click. You know, like no kind of, you know, yeah, I understand you're doing your family, but still, you don't have to be as harsh. It's still a business call. So, but that's her. It's like, I think with her, you just take it or leave it. That's how she's going to be. She's not changed for anybody. I do think she is a little softer because of what she went through. I think God did some things in her because she had to get through that. And I believe that God restored her faith in him and her husband and all of that. I think there was a healing that went on. I think there's still healing going on, as you can see, you know, as the show progresses. But again, there's timing for everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Bottom line.
And speaking of it, it seems that Tina is just going back to old Tina because Erica's talking to her and saying, hey, I think we need a manager to kind of help us. And she's like, I don't want a manager.
Right.
I don't think we need a manager. But she didn't say, I didn't think we need a manager because, and gave some examples. She said, I don't think we need a manager because I don't want a manager.
Right.
And it's all about you. That's what she said. I'm like, Tina, what happened to the new Tina?
Exactly.
What happened to the Tina in the first episode where she was just hugging
Kumbaya.
Mitch and who? Right.
Right.
So it goes back to now Erica has to look at herself and say, okay, you know, what am I going to do at this point? Tina doesn't want a manager. And it seems like Erica is just going to go, okay, Tina, you don't want a manager. Then we're not going to have a manager. And I'm like, Tina, you got to get, I mean, Erica, you got to get a backbone here. You got to stand up for yourself. Don't you agree?
Well, I do agree. But I think a lot of times with Erica, these are sisters. They grew up together.
Right.
So they know how each other works. And I think with Erica, it's easier for her to be like, whatever, because she doesn't want to have to. It's a lot of energy.
But that gives
to
Tina
try to fight.
power with that.
That's true. But I think, well, that's why she has Warren. Because if you think about it, Warren is kind of like in that dynamic. She's the one that kind of pushes Erica. And so Erica is, and we've seen this episode because it was affecting her health. It was affecting, you know, she was missing her family. She says yes all the time. She's a yes person. She's a people pleaser.
Right.
And you could see when she asked Tina, hey, Tina, can you, no. Like not even a budge, not even, no, I'm going with my family. You said yes, I said no.
Right.
But I'll pray for you, you know.
But you know what? I kind of took that into a positive. I thought about it and I go, you know what? By Tina saying no, it almost helps Erica to look at herself and go, okay, I really got to learn how to say no to some of these gigs.
Sure.
Because Tina is just jetting back off home with her family and I can't even do that.
Right.
So I think that in her callous kind of way, you know, I think it kind of helped her. What do you think? I think it really kind of made her realize, like, I can't do this.
Well, I think that's what's good about their dynamic is because they are opposites. Can you imagine if it was two Tinas and Mary Mary? Yeah. It would be chaos. And if it was two Ericas, you know, they probably wouldn't get anything, you know, it would be the other end. You know what I'm saying? They'd say yes to everything and would never have time for anything. So I think they make a good balance as far as a group and, you know, being sisters or what have you. But yeah, I do agree. I think it does I think what happens is Erica reflects on it. And it's like, man, she said no. She's at home having time with her family. That's what I want to do. If I would have said no, I would have been doing the same thing. Yeah. So yeah, I think it does help because, and I don't know if we're going to get into it later, but you know, Warren was very upset about losing that money.
And we talked about it last episode.
And he was, you know, when he had that phone call and he's like, Eric, I want you to understand that we missed that money because you said yes to this Mary Mary show. And it goes back to Erica saying yes. Now, granted, she was the manager. Tina, you know, defaulted the call, but in the haste of everything that was going on last episode with the kids, everything going on, she was like, yes, I'll do it. Yeah, because she's used to saying, okay, Mary Mary show, absolutely. Not thinking, I'm a solo artist now. Is this the right thing to do? Let me consult somebody first. So I think she's learning her lesson in regards to that. And as we saw at the end of this episode, when she's talking to Warren, and he's like, you got to stop.
But she's taking forever to learn. We've been going through this since season 1.
Sure.
Right.
But she's, again, it goes back to her being a people pleaser.
I know,
she likes to please.
You got to learn at some point. You got to you got to learn, recover quickly, and move on. Yeah. You can't sit there and go, okay, I'm going to still be a people person. Okay, I'm going to still, okay, but Tina's going through a divorce. Well, not divorce, almost going through a divorce, but she's going through a lot. I mean, at some point, you got to care about your husband. You got to care about your family. You got to care about your kids.
She needs to be more like Tina. That's basically what
yes.
she has to, but just she needs to be more like Tina. She's not Tina, but she does need to take those cues from Tina and be more like her.
Yeah.
But it's going to take her, and I think, like I said, that's why I think she has a great husband, because he does make sure, like, you have to do this, and tells her, and you know, maybe scolds her a little bit or whatever when she does something that maybe she shouldn't have done. But it's a thing that, you know, works in that relationship. I think that she needs to do more of that. And I think once she does more of that, it's going to help her health. It's going to help her family. And I agree with Warren. She has to, if she's going to be a soul artist, be a soul artist. Don't do both, because it's going to kill her.
Absolutely.
And I don't know no one else that does that. Secular, gospel, otherwise.
Right. True that. And also, too, you know, Tina got in trouble because she's over there telling people, you know, right?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I was 2016.
16.
Yeah. Right? Or it could be earlier, right?
Right.
Right, Erica? And Erica's like,
yeah, like, oh, wait, yeah, okay,
sure,
well,
sure,
maybe,
whatever you
yeah.
say.
No. But Warren, you know, checked her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
But she still was going back to being Tina. It's like, what? Just
Yeah,
because I set a date don't mean anything.
Right.
I mean, what? Who cares?
Well, Tina doesn't, the way I see it, Tina just doesn't, seems like she doesn't want to be wrong. Ever.
No, she doesn't want to be wrong.
She doesn't
ever.
want to be
She's
known
like,
as
so
wrong.
what? I put a date out there.
Exactly.
So what? We'll just retract it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's hard. And I don't think she again, because I believe she is narrow-minded in her thinking. Mm-hmm. She does have tunnel vision, and she does think about herself a lot. And in that situation, that was a perfect example where Warren is like, look, you don't handle Sony. You don't handle those kind of business meetings. You don't know the business aspects. So for you to say something like that, you're not going to understand the repercussions,
right,
because I'm going to be the one that has to clean it up, not you. You write the songs, you sing the songs, you record the songs, and that's your job.
Absolutely.
So she did overstep her bounds. She didn't realize it at the time. She's caught up in the moment. You know, they are where they are in that amazing event, you know, where they're inducted, which I thought was amazing.
I thought
so
too, yes.
So anyway, Library of Congress.
Yeah.
So is Tina going to change? I don't think she's going to change.
I don't think she's going to change.
She's not going to change.
I think she changes at home.
Yeah.
I think, you know, for Teddy, it's a different Tina.
Sure,
for her kids, it's a different Tina.
Sure.
But on the road, it's the same Tina.
Right.
That's what I think. I just think I just gave my prediction a little bit early.
I think you're right. I think you're right. But it's going to be interesting. This is where I think is going to be interesting, where Tina is going to come with it, is because when she does her solo album and what she's going to have to go through with her solo album, if she's going to have that be successful, there's going to be some things she's going to have to let go, or some things she's going to have to work at that she's not used to doing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like how Erica with her solo project, you saw she just full steam ahead, and it paid off. You know what I'm saying? She got the nomination, she got the plays, you know, album did well. So with Tina, Tina's not like Erica as far as her work ethic.
She's going to arrive on time.
She's going to break. She can't even be on time.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be interesting to see how Tina manages that, and how successful her album, whenever it comes out, is based on, you know, how she runs things.
Speaking of that, I like the part with Kenneth Creer, the ex-manager, and he said something really intriguing and said, why am I going to spend money for single Erica Campbell, and I can just say, oh, okay, I'm going to spend money for Mary Mary. Which one is more important?
Right.
And I like that, because it made her think. And it almost made her think to where she has to put value on herself as an individual, or value on herself as a Mary Mary artist with her sister.
Sure.
Because if I'm a producer and I'm like, okay, am I going to pay for Mary Mary, Erica Campbell?
Right.
If I have a budget and I can get both for this price, or I'm going to get one for this price,
Sure.
I'm just going to go ahead and go with Mary Mary.
Sure.
And then just get both of them and just have a bigger concert.
No, absolutely. And that's kind of how she fell into that trap. Why the person that called her was like, yeah, we want Mary Mary, because she's like, you want Erica, or you want Mary
Mary?
Oh, well, Mary Mary I think would be the best, because he knows it's going to be more money. And that's what Warren said. He's like, yeah, he wants Mary Mary because it's going to be a bigger crowd. It's going to be more money for him. You know what I'm saying? But they split that.
Right.
So, and that's why Warren was, because he's not recouping that money because it's under Mary Mary.
Exactly.
Different situation.
So I love the fact that he spoke to her and just kind of said, look, you really need to think about this and seriously think about it. Like, let's not have this conversation again.
Right.
Now, they ended on bad terms, but, you know, he explained himself and apologized, and I'm glad they were able to reconnect them again.
No, that was good.
Because if you remember, you know, he was just so frustrated.
Right.
It was like, okay, I'm not going to just be a manager for Erica Campbell and you out here doing Mary Mary. What's the point of doing all this work?
Exactly.
Which I understood. So, but I liked how he said, you know, I still love you. and it ended well.
You know what's also interesting is too, and this is I think another thing that plays with Erica because of how she is and her personality. When she was talking with Google, I don't know if it was last episode or the episode before last, but she mentioned Google was like, if you stop doing Mary Mary, what about Tina? She's like, have you thought about how she gonna eat, how she gonna make ends meet, all this kind of stuff? Because if Erica says, I'm focusing on my solo project and that's all I'm gonna do ever again, then there's no more Mary Mary. That means Tina isn't getting paid. Tina isn't getting shows. You know what I'm saying? So I think when Google said that, that also weighed on her because she's like, yeah. And if you think about it, I want to say that's when she's like, all right, let's do Mary Mary. Let's do some Mary Mary stuff.
Absolutely.
After that, because I think she really felt she doesn't want her sister, you know, to not be successful or not have an income. You know what I mean?
But here's my thing. Here's my response to that. When Tina was going through what she was going through, she was leaving Erica out in the cold, in a sense, because she's like, I don't want to go, I don't want to travel, I don't want to do this, I got to take care of my kids, I got to take care of my home, right?
True.
So, but it was already in Erica, but that was the time for her to say, you know what, I'm going to step up and do a solo.
Sure.
So this is going to help Tina do what she wants to do, that she says that she's been doing. She's going to have to step up her game and say, you know what, let me just go ahead and do what I need to do and do my solo.
Sure.
And make, you know, new avenues for me as Tina.
Yes. However, I don't want to get in predictions early,
Right.
but again, because Tina and Erica are different, and you also got to see that Warren is behind Erica too.
And Erica
which
has
is
a different work ethic
exactly,
too.
different work ethic. You got Warren, who's her husband, who's behind her and is very knowledgeable of the business and also produced the album. You know what I'm saying? Because Tina was trying to go rogue. She's like, yeah, I don't want to work with Sony. So I want to do my own thing. So then that probably will leave Warren out of it, you know, because she even said, I don't want to be on my block. So that means she's going to other producers who may not, you know, be able to produce the song. Well, who knows? Bottom line is that I'm going to be successful enough for her to want to stay as a solo artist.
But maybe she needs to go down that road to understand.
Well,
maybe she needs to get a lesson. You know what I mean?
I think she will, but I think she wants to use Mary Mary as kind of a scapegoat. Be like, yeah, I want to do the solo, but I still want to do Mary Mary. I don't want to let Mary Mary go because, you know, that's her bread and butter.
True.
But it's going to take Erica saying, I'm not doing Mary Mary. Tina cannot force Erica to do Mary Mary. But Erica's gonna have to be like, I'm not doing it. I'm focusing on my solo. That's it. Focus on your solo,
right?
And let's see what happens later.
And she's scared to do it because she knows it's gonna damage their relationship, their personal relationship.
Exactly.
So how do you think? Let's go into predictions because now I'm interested to see.
You ready to go to predictions? Okay.
Oh, you got some more stuff?
No.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I think all right, good.
Predictions.
All right, let's go into predictions. I like that song. I want him to play it again.
I know.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
You want to go first?
Sure.
You always go first.
You make me go first.
I make you go first.
Okay. Predictions. Okay. So first prediction is Tina is not going to be the manager of Mary Mary. I think Erica is going to basically force. I think it's going to turn out to be a situation where either they get a manager for Mary Mary because Tina cannot handle that. Get a manager for Mary, or Mary Mary ceases. That's what I believe will happen. I don't think it'll happen right away, but I think that's what it's going to come to. Because to me, it doesn't make any sense for Erica to have this blooming solo career that she can push and elevate and do the way she wants to do it, but then deal with Mary Mary in this, you know, broken, disjointed kind of way with no management, like autopilot, you know, all the things that were happening that were going wrong, to continue doing that because it's detrimental. It's going to be detrimental to her career. I think with Warren, he's going to have another conversation about the situation. I think that 40,000 is going to come up like one more time.
One more time. One more again.
One more
We're
time.
talk about this one more again.
It's going to come up one more time. It's going to come up one more time. And I think that there's going to be, they touched on it last episode about the whole baby situation, but I don't think that's the last we've heard of that. Because if you remember the lady that talked to, I can't remember her name, but that was the editor of the magazine that they knew that came and talked to them. She said, well, a source said that. And I was pretty sure about that source. That's why I put it in the article or the magazine or what have you. So I think that at some point in time, it's going to come up again in some way, whether it's Tina talking to Teddy about it or whether it's going to come up again in conversation. Somehow it's going to come up and it's going to have to be dealt with.
Those are some good predictions.
Yeah.
I like that. And I didn't even think about it coming back, actually. I didn't think that I guess because I was sort of satisfied with what happened, because she was like, I'm not going to talk about these lies.
Oh, when they were all...
Yeah. I just think it was wrong how they approached her.
Sure.
5 minutes before the interview. I'd be like, really?
Well, I think that's better than not telling her, because then she feels ambushed.
But you feel ambushed? I think that they could have told her a day before the interview or something.
Well,
not
if you
5
think about
minutes
when they first were going to tell her, it was right before the wedding, so they weren't going to do it then, and I agreed with that. But yeah, sure, some time has passed, and I think it was one of those things where it was like, well, may not come up again, and then all of a sudden, when the lady calls and says, "Hey, I want to do this interview," then it's like, oh, because that's going to come up.
They were 5 minutes away from doing the interview.
Right, but what I'm saying is, I think when she said she wanted to do the interview because of where they were, whatever city they were in, she's like, I want to do this interview. Then it was like they knew it was going to come up, so they're like, okay, let's prep you. So yeah, it was a little last minute, but I would have appreciated, if I was Tina, I would appreciate you saying it now as opposed to I'm being ambushed and I don't know what's going on.
Right.
Because then I'm really lost. And then you guys knew and didn't say anything. Oh yeah.
I think just tell me as soon as you find out. Married, not married, engaged.
Well, you said
engaged.
that. You said that at the beginning.
Just
you said
tell
that at the
me.
beginning. You want to know.
I want to know.
Right.
All right. So my prediction is I'm going to piggyback off of yours. Yes, I do think Warren's going to bring up that 40K again.
Of course he is.
And rightfully so.
Sure.
Rightfully so.
Sure.
I think that there might be a compromise between Erica and Tina for Mary Mary.
Okay.
Because and she said a lot of times people get tired of listening to the same thing, but it is a source of revenue, and you don't want it. When you're out of what is the word I'm looking for? Out of mind. Right. When you're nowhere around, you're not singing, you're not doing interviews. Oh, okay. You're just, no one hears about you. Sure. You're gone. You're just dismissed. No one's thinking about you. So you still want to stay relevant a little bit. So maybe they can compromise and just say, okay, maybe we'll do 2 gigs a month for Mary Mary, just to keep it going, because people still buy albums, people can still buy iTunes, people can still buy whatever. So out of mind, out of sight. There we go. Oh, okay. So I think that maybe there might be a compromise for them doing a little bit of touring, but she's going to have to limit it to saying, okay, you know what, maybe just 2 a month so I can be with my family. Okay. Maybe. My little prediction, because, she's going to want to support Tina. Okay. And I think Mitch is coming back for some reason.
I was going to say that, but I'm like...
I just think he's coming back.
The only way, and I said this before, the only way he would come back is if he was going to do something with Tina, because Erica is completely, and Warren, completely done with him. But I know that one of the commenters were saying that they said, both of them said, I guess when, how you can watch the show with them, that it was brought up that both Tina and Erica was like, we'll never work with him again. So I don't know. Well,
whether they work with him or not, I still think he's going to be back.
Oh, you think he's just going to come back at some point in time?
Yeah, he's going to create a storyline for himself, like he did at the wedding, and come back again.
He's going to appear at one of their concerts.
Yeah, he's going to. There's going to be something. Yeah. It's going to be something.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, but I also agree with you. Tina's no longer going to be the manager.
Yes, I don't. That's not going to last.
That's not going to last.
That's not going to last.
And I think I didn't cover my predictions. And I think we covered the episode as well.
We did cover the episode.
All right. So where can they find you, Lem?
Well, you can find me always on social media, and that's at The Poet Saint, and that's on Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat Chisel if you want to try it. I'm just saying, I just got on there.
What is Snapchat? I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what it is?
No. I was late on Instagram, so I guess.
I'll tell you. You know what Facebook is? Email her.
Right. Was that hilarious?
That was hilarious.
It was like midnight.
Yeah, it was.
Our brains were just so tired.
It was too late.
I'm Ashida Onrae. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, not on Snapchat, but you can also find me on Facebook as well. I look forward to seeing you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.